The final bell rings and you're just in time. You wanna jump on the bus and take a ride. It's time to relax and watch a show or two. But then you'll realize you got homework to do. Now the pencils are down, your brain's about to blow. You gotta chill out, there's just one place to go. You just click play, it's that theme song you know. You're finally here, it's the after school show. Now sit back and enjoy the after school show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the after school show.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining. Oh, frog in my throat.
It happened to me too.
All right, we went out of town recently, and we got that hotel. I just wanted to make sure we were filming correctly. It's a Life of Dad episode. Sorry about the sound. Basically, we went to a hotel recently, and we've got that hotel garbage throat.
Yeah.
You know,
I
where
can see that.
the heater's weird, and it dries you out, and you can't find a happy medium of cold or hot. And boy, it's frustrating.
It is.
So I'm still getting over it. Thanks for joining us on the Life of Dad page. That's facebook.com/lifeofdad for any of you watching on YouTube, which you are. Tommysaurus Rex joined us on YouTube
Hey,
right now.
Tommysaurus.
And Liam's on Life of Dad's page. So we appreciate you stopping by. So how was your day today?
My day was pretty interesting.
Sounds like it.
All right, so today in science we did a lab where we used different tools like seeing the pH of the water, potential hydrogen, and the salinity in the water.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Did you want to know something crazy?
What?
Went to school, went to high school, went to college. Didn't know what the H from pH meant until you just said that. I really didn't know.
The potential of hydrogen.
Yeah, I really didn't know. I am a moron. Okay, so we're joined by Donald. Johanne says, hello. Liam said, I'm watching all the way from Mansfield, UK. Very happy to have you. We are UK fans. I especially, because I watch a lot of UK shows. Like, I watch Channel 4 religiously. I love UK's chat shows. I would watch those instead of our American shows every day. I love them. I have to stream them on the computer. And they have to come through the internet in nefarious ways. But I really love those shows. Liverpool fans here, though, so sorry. Yep. Don't judge us. Don't be angry.
All right, remember, guys, you can follow us on Instagram at After School Show.
That's right, After School Show. Sometimes we get previews of our shows and show off some fun stuff we're doing as a family.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So, man, I am just stoked that all of you are joining us right now on the Life of Dad page. And the reason we're on the Life of Dad's page is because today we're powered
by Life of Dad.
We kind of just like using that cool logo. It's super neat. All right, well, before we get into the main topic of the episode today, you know what time it is.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? This is one of the times we like to give away free stuff on the After School Show. We have kids that watch on YouTube. We have adults that watch on Facebook, and they're starting to cross-populate. So we always have something hidden in a lunchbox each week. And on Tuesdays through Thursdays, we give clues. What were yesterday's and the day before's clues, Carlin?
All right, yesterday's and the day before's clues were power and cylindrical.
Cylindrical and power. Okay, so here's an easy clue today, guys. And if you guess right, you win
a prize from Pretty Good Prize Locker.
I said it different today. It messed you up. Auto. That is today's clue.
Auto.
So power, cylindrical, auto. That's the clue for what's in the box. And if you guess it directly, like he said, the man was right. You can win a prize from the Pretty Good Prize Locker.
That's right, the man.
And and stick around. We're also going to spin the wheel weekends, where sometimes we give away free lunch or a cool prize pack for kids, and sometimes we just donate to charity. It all depends on where the wheel flies. And be sure you stick around for the end for our cool video of the day.
All right, adoption.
Now, as you can see, we don't look exactly alike. Now, sometimes you adopt kids that look just like you. A redheaded man has a redheaded kid. People would never know. You could be my son if your mom was black or biracial, or there's lots of different things that could make you be my son.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I met him in a Burger King. That is how the social worker introduced us. She brought us to a Burger King. She brought them to a Burger King, and we met over Whoppers.
Yeah.
And that's a whopper of a story. It sounds like a lie, but it's true. So Liam said, me and my wife want to adopt. You should. It's awesome. And we're big proponents for adopting from the foster system because everybody wants a baby. But there are kids that need homes in foster care. And that's actually why we adopted Carlin and his sister. His sister has only one kidney, and today was her biannual kidney appointment, and it only functions at 45%, so not good. Carlin was 5, she was 3 at the time, and they said just based on him being 5 and her medical difficulties, they could possibly age him out of their relationship in a way. Usually they don't age a kid out for adoption until later, but they were going to split them up possibly so that they could get her in a home as quick as possible. And you would have lost touch with your sister. And that broke our heart. So when we heard about that, we're like, get us in front of that review board for those kids. Jeremy said Carlin is an awesome kid.
Thank you.
True.
I know I am.
Somebody said electric car in the box. I promise I will pick a winner out of this week's people that guessed, but I'm not going to give you the answer right now.
Now, a funny story when we met at Burger King.
Right.
I walked up to you and you're like, hey, do you know what my name is? Or you said, hi, I'm Christian. I said, I know. I was like, yep, I know.
We made a picture book about our family, just my wife and I, basically. That was the family. And we had pictures of the rooms we had set up for them and everything. And I said, hi, my name is Christian. He went, I know. Is that Spider-Man in my room? I was like, okay, we're good. This is going to be good. Your sister didn't say a word for 6 months, but hey, now she won't shut up.
That's true.
All right, well, here's the thing about our family. We talk about race with our family. We're so open about it. And in talking about race, we talk about race publicly. And sometimes I make jokes about race.
Yeah.
Now, recently I had somebody contact me on Facebook because we were doing a show and we were standing next to each other and your shirt said what?
The dark side made me do it.
Right.
Or something about the dark side.
But
yes.
The made me do it, you couldn't see the made me do it. It just said the dark side. So you were standing beside me. I'm standing on this side. And we look obviously different.
Yeah.
And your shirt said the dark side. And I laughed. I said, that's kind of funny that we're standing side by side.
Yeah.
So this person said, would you have to make jokes about race? Well, no. But I do think it's an icebreaker. Whenever I go to your school, everybody stares at us. Right? Whenever I go to your sister's school...
There's somebody's always like, are you his dad?
Yeah, always. And sometimes it's an icebreaker. Most of the time when kids are staring, I just go, yeah, guys, I'm white, he's black, it's no big deal. And then they either like, oh my gosh, or they start talking to us. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's really confusing when I go to have lunch with you or your sister and I bring one of our white children.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this person and I were talking about stuff. And they said, you know, if you make jokes about race or constantly talk about race, your black children, and by the way, we've had 2 white children born to us since we adopted, not planned, they broke birth control. They said, you're constantly reminding your son he's different than you. So is that what you see when we talk about race in our family? And answer honestly for everybody.
That's not what I see.
So when I said the thing about the dark side, joking around with you, do you find that for you, does that bother you? And this is, all for you, real discussion with you guys. Does that bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me at all. I think it's really funny.
See, that's the thing. I don't joke about anything that we haven't already either discussed or I know is cool with Carlin because that would be totally inappropriate and not cool. Our family is on the internet, and it's important to us to talk about adoption, encourage adoption, and bring up our differences. Jared Trout says, I was adopted at birth, so was my brother. I found my biological dad when I was 19. Awesome. That's
Wow,
cool.
that's
so
cool.
Your brother was adopted as well. Was that your birth brother or another brother through adoption? You always have to ask because you never know. Some people will ask us about you and your sister. Are they siblings? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, no, are they birth siblings? All right, so the person was asking, and it's a legitimate question. Now, usually if somebody asks me, hey, how are you parenting your child? Don't they know blah, 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 blah? My first instinct is to go, hi, stranger. That's none of your business. But I run a website called Plaid Dad Blog, and I wear plaid a lot because of it, because our family is different colors. And I thought that was a cool name for our family. Plaid
yeah.
Dad. And it rhymes. So, all right. When your mom was born, when your mom was pregnant with Oliver, our first child,
Yes.
and he's white, by the way.
Yep.
We
I
told
think I
you,
know that.
we told you the whole 9 to 10 months. We told you and your sister, we're not going to love him more because he's ours. We're not going to love him more because he's white. We said it. I almost got tired of saying it. So, and we assured you of that, right?
Yeah.
Now, did you ever, and let people know honestly, did you ever think that we loved Oliver more than you?
Yeah, I definitely did. Because you were just spending so much time with him and holding him, and I felt like I was left out because, like, you were with him more than me.
And did you think, man, it's because he's white?
I did.
And that was tough for you to tell me.
Yep.
So I kept sensing something was wrong with Carlin and I. And, you know, I mean, you were only, what, six and a half, 7 at the time?
Yeah, around that.
So we talked about it. And he was crying. I started crying. And you said, look, you always have him with you. I just think he's more important to you. And I was like, dude, I understand. But I need you to understand something. He's 1. And if I'm not around him, he will die.
Yeah.
If your mom's not around him, he will die. If he eats this Lego, he will die. If he rolls off the couch, he will die. If he crawls off the porch, he'll die. And then we just started going back and forth with different scenarios on how your little brother could die. And we started laughing about that and joking about that. And, you know, we came to the realization that, you know, this is why I'm spending more time with him. And here's what I told Carlin, and you can tell anybody if this is a lie. I said, I don't even like him as much as you.
You know what? That's not a lie. Because he was being a real butt.
I said, I can't wait to leave him alone, Carlin. Please find somebody to take him. Your mother and I just want to be alone together, let alone with you and your sister. Please, someone come save me from this baby. I don't even like him. And this was before he could understand English. And I told him some nights, I don't like you. Please stop. Please stop. I can't sleep. Your mom can't sleep. We're going crazy. And that's the reality of parenting. You never want to say to your kid, I don't like you. Melody said the biggest part of parenting is just keeping them alive. Yes. And then teaching them choices to keep them smart enough to keep themselves alive.
Yeah.
And happy. So if you are watching this and you've thought about adoption, let us know. If you've been adopted, let us know. We'd love to hear it. If you're curious and have a question about differences in a multiracial family, go ahead and ask. We'll run this episode a little long today instead of the normal 15 because I think it's an important topic. But today's video of the day, I'm going to show the spot to you now. And the way to get to our video of the day is just go to youtube.com/afterschoolshow and click on the links below. But it's a guy that was adopted from Africa as an adult.
Oh, wow.
He was kind of supported through one of those TV things like support a kid for $25 a month, that kind of thing. And then he was adopted by a white family in America, but he was pretty much an adult. He was 17, 18. Which is a child to me, but you know, legally. And now, what this person on the internet that talked to me, like, don't you know that's bothering your kid? Don't you know that that could be making him feel separate? Don't you know that? When he came to the family, the other kids felt that their parents, who had loved them all of their life, loved this black kid more.
Oh, wow.
Why do you think that is? It's the same reason you felt. Why do you think that these white children that were born to this family felt that way about the new kid in their life?
Because they were spending more time with the new kid now, because they're just meeting him, wanting to make him feel welcome and that kind of stuff. So they're like, come on, why aren't you spending time with me?
And that's what his TED Talk is about. You should really check out that video. His talk is about how adoption changed his life. Now, adoption isn't an end-all be-all. We didn't save you when we adopted you. A lot of people think that people that adopt have a savior complex, or that you're going to save a child from foster care. You're going to save him by taking him out of a bad neighborhood and putting him into a good neighborhood. That's not what you're doing. You're just trying to provide love and a home to that child. Why don't you, in your own words, tell people what you thought of when you were in foster care and what you wanted when you were in foster care?
Well, when I was in foster care, I already knew that I was different from them, because they were a different family. In fact, they had your last name, and I always wanted that last name. I was like, "Hi, my last name is Smith."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Nope, your last name is Jones." And I just keep on pretending my last name was Smith.
Yeah.
And every night I would pray that I would get permanent parents and that I would come to live with them forever and it'd be all happy. Every night for a very long time, and it finally happened.
Now, I didn't coach Carlin to say this. You're getting teary-eyed. This is something that he thought of every day. And to be honest, for 16 years of marriage, or 15, I didn't want kids. For 15 years, I was happy without kids. I didn't want to run a parenting blog. I didn't want to run or even worry about another kid. But when I got convicted about all of the kids in foster care, I just couldn't do it anymore. We had a house with extra rooms, and we had love to give and a little bit of money, not a ton, to spend getting a room straight and feeding another kid. And I didn't want to send it on the internet to something that I didn't know where the money was going. I said, let's just do this thing. And then we found out about you guys, and that's why we adopted. But we'll never stop talking about race, either on Plaid Dad or this show, or talking with people. And, we'll never stop really making little jokes. Not anything inappropriate.
Yeah.
But it kind of does break down walls with people. And when they learn your heart's in the right place, it's a big thing. Humor has power. Before I adopted the kids, I traveled around as a stand-up comic, and I gave up that life to spend with the kids, because you can't be out 4 and 5 nights a week in comedy clubs talking to drunks when you're supposed to be spending time talking to your kids. And humor's an important part of my life, of your life, and it's what we do in this family. So what would you like to say to people about adoption? How would you like to encourage them?
Well, I want to encourage you guys to adopt, because I think it's a very, very good thing to do, because you're providing a home for kids who are maybe in foster homes or in an orphanage, and they really need a permanent person that they can be loved on. Oh,
that's beautiful. So that's why on our Wheel of Weekends we have a spot for Adopt a Kid, because when it lands on that, we send money to
Bethany.org,
which is the organization that helped me adopt Carlin and his sister. And we just like to encourage other people to adopt and talk about it and the differences between us. And honestly, there are differences between us.
Yeah.
Whether it's our hair care, we had dealt with that with your sister today. Whether it's not to do with race, it has to do with your sister's kidney. There's lots of differences in our family. And I think it's always better to get that out there, to talk about it, even to spit something out of your mouth that might not be the coolest thing to say, that might be stupid, that might be ignorant, that you might get called out on later and go, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said it that way. I used a poor choice of words. I would rather get that out there, talk about it, open the dialogue about adoption.
Yeah.
Than be a family that never talks about it. I do know families that have adopted black children, and I know the black children have grown up to adulthood, And they said they were never told about their culture. They were never, their parents always treated it like they were the same. Like, oh, nothing's the same when, nothing's different about us. You're the same as us. We're a white family, you're black, but it doesn't matter. Color doesn't matter in life. And then they went out into a world where color did matter. You know, where they did maybe have a higher propensity of getting spotlighted in a neighborhood that they shouldn't be in, which is bogus. Or they dealt with racism, or they dealt with just being different than all of the people around them. And their parents did a discourtesy, it's a bigger deal than that, a disservice to them by never talking about race.
Yeah, I think it needs to be talked about because there's just these questions that are all bottled up inside. You're curious about these things, so you need someone to talk to about it. And I think it helps also to build a better relationship, even though you want to be a family, you want to think that that doesn't matter, but it also helps to know, because you don't just want to be stuck there with questions and have them not be answered and be curious for your life.
That makes sense. Think about it. If you're not an adopted family, maybe that you're not into adoption, you should at least donate to adoption, but whatever. Let's say you're watching this and you're a parent with your own kids and you're like, well, none of this means anything to me. I'm not into adoption. Just think about all the things you want to talk about with your kids so they're not in the dark that you may have been in the dark about as a kid. Maybe it's birds and bees. Maybe it's gun violence that we've recently been talking about. Any of the taboo topics that are in the world and in families today, you know, talking about them, opening the door, being willing to be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. I'm often wrong. That's an important thing, not only for you and your children, but our society, so that when we talk about these things, it's just a growing period.
It is.
So eventually I'm going to say something stupid about race. And I hope that my friends who are either in all black families or biracial families or multiple racial black families, I hope they say to me, hey, that was dumb. And I'll go, hey, this is what I meant by it and this was my intent. And if it was dumb, I want to change that. And if you say something that's dumb, I'm going to point that out too. It goes all the way around. But this is just one of the things that we deal with as a multiracial family. Sometimes I say biracial, you're biracial, we're multiracial. you know? So your birth mom was actually from South America. Your dad was African American. So there's all kinds of stuff. Plus they were deaf. We've got tons of stuff to talk about. So it's interesting. If you guys ever have a question about adoption and you just want to run it by somebody that is adopted, please contact us at After School Show. We'd be happy to talk about it, or my main site, Plaid Dad Blog. Melody said, in life you don't have a choice about difference, but you can choose how to respond to difference. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You can respond with anger, ignorance, etc. We choose humor. That's an awesome choice.
That's good. That's smart.
Mark Henry Rowan said, we adopted our first 2 years ago and are adopting again in a few months. Come on, let's hand clap for Mark. Thanks for talking about adoption. More people should consider it. Hey, my point is, if you aren't willing to adopt, you should support people who do. It is expensive. Now, if you adopt from foster care, it's not as expensive. People that want babies spend lots of money. Babies cost money. It doesn't matter what country they come from. And there's a lot of legal fees when you adopt from China, Africa. I know people who were adopting a child from Africa and then had the kid switched on them. It was crazy. Lots of craziness in adoption, but definitely support people. Tommysaurus Rex said this is very touching. We appreciate that, Tommysaurus.
Thank you.
And we liked having you here and listening. We hope you tell your friends about the show, but right now it's time for some business.
Let's spin the wheel of weekends.
All right.
Weekends.
Now next week we'll probably be doing something crazy like stuffing Girl Scout cookies in our mouth, so be sure to stay tuned to the After School Show for that as well. It's not always heavy special topic day. All right, this is perfect. You saw the spin.
Adoption?
No, it landed on Help a Child in Need, but today we're going to move that to our adoption charity and donate to Bethany.org. Sorry, no free pizza for you today, but a kid in foster care might get a slice, so that works out. Man, that is perfect when we're talking about adoption, and it lands on the Help a Child in Need. All right, one more time I'm going to show you the video of the day to remind you to check it out. just go to youtube.com/afterschoolshow and you can check out the link in the show notes. It's a TED Talk by a guy from Africa who was the poorest, he said. I mean, he was, when I say dirt poor, there was nothing there. Like, he was dirt poor. It was,
Wow.
you know, he talks about it. I'm not putting words in his mouth. And when he came to America, it was the first time he saw a refrigerator. He had to be explained what a refrigerator was. He talks about that. And he talks about how the children in the family, they felt left out when he was adopted. So, yeah, we've run long today, but this is a very important topic, and we love talking about it.
Yeah.
And thanks to Life of Dad, we can't thank them enough for hosting our show on their channel, I guess.
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/lifeofdad.
Definitely. If you're watching on YouTube, facebook.com/lifeofdad. We'd love if this episode meant anything to you, or you just want to encourage people to adopt.
And please share this episode.
Yeah.
Share so people are aware of adopting and they should try it, or at least donate money to the people that need love.
Yeah, definitely. Click the like button. We appreciate that. But if you click the share button and share it on your wall, it just helps Facebook with their algorithm and says, hey, this is something important people should see. And we would really appreciate that. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us for a very special episode
of the After School Show. Thanks for watching, guys.
We really appreciate it. Next week, we'll be back with our normal craziness and maybe some heartwarming stuff. It'll be fun. And we do have Girl Scout cookies to taste test.
I'm excited.
Yeah. We're going to find out if the cheap ones from the store taste exactly like Girl Scout cookies. My belly's excited already.
Me too.
So be sure to join us for the craziness. We'll see you next week, guys. Same time next time.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys. Click here and subscribe to our channel, and click here if you want to watch more awesome videos. Come on, click.
Now sit back and enjoy the after school